God bless you, beloved souls. It is your brother and friend, Jesus, who comes once again to speak to all the blessed souls who are willing to open their ears and their minds and their souls to truth. For I can only speak truth, beloveds, and I will only speak truth through this instrument, who willingly sits to be my channel of love and encouragement, and perceptions of truth in the world. The world continues to be in great darkness. So much is a reflection of the human condition. I could not possibly list all the infractions of the laws of God that are present within your world at this moment, but I am saddened to say that almost all individuals in your world are deeply out of harmony with God and the laws of their own creation. Thus, proliferating a great condition of darkness that feeds upon itself, and motivates the vast majority of the souls upon your world to continue to strive for material abundance, without spiritual wisdom. So many of the messages that are given to the minds of humanity from childhood on, encourage and guide every soul to put before them the priority of material gain and security, over securing their soul with God. In times gone by, at least the religious institutions of the day would teach moral behavior and expectations, which helped to uplift the thoughts of humanity, and these teachings were taken seriously. Now, very few seek religion for the answers to moral dilemmas and spiritual truth. Those that do are often caught up in great distortions. Though they have a desire to be loving and accepting of others, often this is intertwined with terrible judgments and fear. Thus, even in these churches and institutions, there is a proliferation of darkness over light. Though there are some that are great lights and there are environments, refuges within your world of light, where earnest souls come to seek spiritual sustenance and communion with God. All is not darkness, but indeed, as we look upon your world, it is like we come from a different world, a vastly different world than yours. This is not meant to be. God did not create a world that is out of harmony and out of sync with the progressive unfolding of a soul first experiencing the material life and then progressing on to the spirit life. In God's great plan, these things are interconnected. Progression of an individual from the physical to the spiritual, going from this life to another, would be one of ease and joy and acknowledgement that God's laws and plan for each individual is a thing of love, and grace, and beauty. Thus, we come to your world to encourage you upon that path of truth, to adopt the truth of God and God's intention for each individual soul to progress into light, and to understand the steps of progression into light. So, we encourage each of you to look deeply, to discover for your own selves the truth of life, the meaning of life. These invitations are often intimidating to many, for it requires deep introspection and a desire to seek truth from that deeper place, which is your soul. Yet God has provided the ways and the means to answer these crucial questions. God has given each individual the capacity to open, through the gift of His love, the door to truth and understanding. To recognize one's own soul in the world in which you live is a great challenge. Few are willing to take that journey, for humanity is so greatly distracted and fearful and has within their minds such great distortion and perception of life that they are unable to go beyond the illusions of the mind. Yes, the world is in a sad state, a state that continues to worsen with each day. Many are now suffering from the consequences of generations of inharmonious and contrary actions that are not in alignment with God's laws and God's will. Yet God has a plan to bring all into harmony. This is the inevitable outcome of His will. In your world and all worlds, harmony must come, harmony, peace, joy, and love. These things humanity aspires towards in some way but are unable to understand the steps required in order to fulfill these desires. They look to material ways, ways of the mind, ways of the body, ways of thought, ways that involve the individual's will to accomplish these goals. Yet, over the millennia of his existence upon this world, rather than progression forward, often there is a great degeneration of the soul. The soul continues to be lost to the conscious acknowledgement of humanity. It is an amorphous idea, which challenges the dominance of the mind. So, humanity continues to bring upon itself dreadful conditions of deprivation and suffering, because the collective will of humanity is to create a world that reflects itself rather than acknowledging the world that God has created and seeking to be in harmony with this creation. Humanity has a great desire for dominance, mastery of the world, and feeding its own carnal and material desires. Humanity has within itself two natures. Of course, you have a body that has its requirements and needs and desires, and you have a spirit which, when awakened and fully functioning, brings a tempering of the material and awakens the faculties and sensitivities of the spiritual forward. What is necessary in your world is this tempering, a balance between the material and the spiritual. This may be done in two ways. One, in which the mind and the spirit come into a form of alignment where the love principles of the individual reflected by its natural inclinations may reach a higher expression and may be done so with mindful wisdom and perception. There are many in your world who are engaged in this effort to be more spiritual in their lives, in all that they do and all that they think, for it is the basic inclination of humanity to seek out its own potentials, those things within them that exists. Indeed, the spiritual side within every individual comes forth to inspire and direct that individual towards light. This too is reinforced by many spirits who come to assist the individual on earth, so that they may choose to live a more harmonious life, one that expresses their true nature, their inclination to be loving and generous and kind, and exert themselves for the benefit of their brothers and sisters. This, in its pure form, creates such a beautiful light within the individual. Yet, the cross-currents of your world tend to dampen these desires and expressions, distracting many from a road that is purely of light, and expresses the fundamental qualities of the soul and the mind and spirit in your world. Thus it is a struggle for all of humanity to overcome these powerful conditions in the world. The journey of which I speak is a difficult journey, requiring great dedication and application. It requires great introspection, and an effort to expel those conditions and thoughts within the individual that are not of light. This journey is often taken without the inclusion of God or the angels. Instead, there is a great resolve of the mind to live a moral life, one that is of service, one that seeks truth and nourishes the mind with many versions of truth, for the paradigms of the mind are many. What the mind may absorb is of a great complexity and variety of thought. Often those who pursue this path are enamored by the constructs of the mind, and desire to fill the mind with many ideas which to them explain the intricacies of life and of the universe. This, as you well know, is called the natural path, the path towards the purifying of the individual in all ways, so that in time, there is a light great and beautiful, pure and in harmony with the structures and laws of God. Very few have obtained this condition in your world, but there are some who have been immortalized in teachings and thought. This way of the human explorations, creation and development of the individual, is more easily understood by those who are intellectually astute and desire to sustain the dominance of the mind in regards to their spiritual journey. Unfortunately, this pursuit and way, which requires so much effort and attention by the individual, often curtails a great need for many to gather together and assert a great effort to change the world and to bring greater light to the world. There are many factions of individuals, many who seek to gather and educate those who are seekers of truth. Yet so much of their time and their efforts are taken in these pursuits so that there is very little overt action to bring material change to the world. The progression of the world towards harmony continues to be a very slow and arduous process. Yet, it continues, and there are certainly avenues and aspects of light that are expressed in your world, and continuing to open and influence the leaders and those in power in your world. Yet, the power of that collective effort is somewhat meager and fractured, reflecting the great many ideas and perceptions of truth. Those many efforts that are being made together make for a powerful force, but unity is missing and a harmonization of intention is required. The human condition is reflected within these aspects of spiritual efforts and thinking, for they only go as far as the mind will take them. They only see as far as the mind will allow them to perceive. Though a great strength is the reflection of their grounded and earthly perspective, it still is inadequate to bring real change to the world, for as I have said, the power of God's touch upon them is meager indeed and incapable of manifesting through them the wondrous gifts of the soul, which has a far greater capacity to bring truth forward, to manifest love and wisdom, and many blessings to uplift humanity. Thus we continue to encourage all of you who have adopted the way of the divine love, have included God in your lives, and are earnestly seeking to awaken your souls, to understand your souls, and to see more deeply into all the aspects and hidden treasures of your soul. In comparison to the usual spiritual practices, which are so prevalent in the spiritual pursuits on earth, the way of the soul and the way of awakening the soul through receiving the gift of God's love is much faster. The journey is quickened by the gift of God's love. This gift of love, the essence of God pouring within your soul, awakens the faculties and empowers the soul in many, many ways. So, a child dedicated and earnest in this pursuit may come upon many gifts and abilities that are unknown to those who are solely within their minds and spirits. Because of the limitations of the mind and spirit, the journey of soul awakening is the highest spiritual road that can be taken. The soul cannot be awakened unless there is earnest prayer that reaches to God and asks to be awakened through His love. The great change and shift in the world that is coming will bring many great opportunities for those who are in alignment with God, to bring change and light, healing and harmony to your world. Though your world is vast and has vast numbers of souls upon it, change will come. Opportunities will be presented for those who are willing to step forward as leaders and teachers, channels of love and light in your world. Many in your world will be hungering for these truths. Many will be lost and desperate, afraid, confused, eager for relief from their pain, from the deprivation that continues to proliferate in your world. God will ensure that every soul in your world will be jostled awake and will have a need, a desire to come to a different way of thought, a different way of perceiving the world, for the old ways will not be there for them to grasp upon. Rather, something new is coming, a great shift that will startle so many upon your world that there will be great cries of anguish mixed with deep desire to find stability, to be safe and secure in this material life. In this great awakening of humanity, God will require many such individuals, souls alight with His love, to step forth and be His channels of love and truth, to show the way to humanity, the way towards light and harmony, love and peace. You must pray earnestly for this awakening within yourselves, so that you may be ready, that you may walk upon a road that is clearly demarcated and that you will be guided, that many opportunities and doors will be open to you for what you will bring, what you will emanate, what will be within you will be of great importance within the world. And many will feel your countenance and know and trust you in your expressions and being in your world. God will infuse within you great light, provide for you many high and beautiful angels to escort you in the world as you make your guided efforts to reach out to humanity. What you do now is merely the beginning of a great venture, the unfolding of God's plan for the salvation of humanity. Yet, your test and challenge is to take each day and utilize that day in ways that will bring greater light to yourself in prayer, greater wisdom to yourself in guidance and contemplation and research. As you continue to awaken, may you acknowledge those parts of yourself that are coming alive and being expressed through you in love, for the world needs you. It does not know that it needs you at this time, but it will. I pray that you will be ready for the task at hand, that the world will open its doors to you and recognize that you carry the key to its future, and that indeed the power of this truth, this simple truth of God's love, is the key that will bring harmony to the world. Your truth, your efforts in truth, what you have to give as a reflection of the gifts within you will be married with other light-filled souls who are inspired by God. Together, those beautiful souls, small in number in comparison to the vast world of souls, will bring a great power and force as God's instruments to awaken the world. Do not seek this for your own glory, beautiful souls. Be humble, but have great faith that God will guide you and bring you to those places of service, of ministering to many souls, of bringing even to those of great power and leadership in the world, the truth that will set all free from the tyranny of the human condition. So we walk with you, beloved souls. We continue to uplift you, to pray with you, to inform you, to bring our love and influence, our protection and light to bear upon you, as God guides us to do so, and blesses all in this great flow and gift to the world. The energetic conditions of your world are changing. There are many blessed components, aspects of God's touch upon your world, which have not been seen for many eons of time. So you live in a very blessed time, one that is challenging and will bring great change, but one that brings great promise, the unfolding of a new era in your world. The old will crumble and make way for the new. Though all will not be lost, as some of your inventions and machines will survive these cataclysmic changes. You will have the wisdom and knowledge to use these things in harmony with God's laws. Much is being awakened within you. Indeed, there is much that needs to be awakened. So we urge you to redouble your efforts in prayer, to earnestly seek your Heavenly Father, to be in great harmony with the laws and knowledge that you have and may apply to your lives. Live a life as a reflection of the truth of God's love and all that comes with that truth. We can ask no more of you, beloved souls, than to be in harmony with God, aligning yourselves with all that is of God and all that God has created, and to ever seek His love. Make this your great priority in life. Bring to yourselves the deep blessing and healing of His love into your souls. This way, what I speak of will become clear for your soul's perceptions, know the truth and have a sense of God's will and intentions for your world. Though many of you feel inadequate and do not see and hear and understand many things of the spiritual, of the soul, I say to you, as you persist and as these great blessings continue to pour upon your world, these things will open powerfully, surprisingly so. It is the faith that you carry that counteracts the resistance of your mind and all of those thought conditions that have influenced and impregnated your mind so deeply, will be neutralized by love and replaced by truth. You are all works in progress. You are all God's beloved children who seek to awaken. Your souls continue to vibrate and desire to be awakened, to find their place truly within the lexicon of your own being, in a way that the power and beauty and gifts of your soul may be given and expressed in your life. You carry a great treasure, and the great wonderment of your life will be to explore and unlock all that is within your soul, for God wishes for you to be realized, fully realized as a child of God in all its potentials and beauty and glory. Glorify your soul, beloveds. Seek to glorify God, and in this beautiful connection and communing between yourself and God, as all things are possible and all will unfold in God's timing and will and intention. He will utilize you as His instruments for the unfolding of His plan, and you will come to know this in a conscious and very real way. You will not stumble and guess and find your way into blind corners. You will not be blinded, beloveds, but instead your eyes will see, your ears will hear, and your mind will come to know the great will of God. And you will step forth as a beautiful, powerful instrument of His will. A channel of love in a world so desperate for love. A speaker of truth in a world so mired by error. An activator of change that will bring greater harmony to your world. A humble servant of God who knows his own purpose and destiny, beyond what the mind can comprehend, but the soul already knows. These things will come to each one of you, beloved souls, and all souls who are willing to take the step beyond the confines of their mental attitudes, biases, and fears to that place of soul awakening and soul acknowledgement of God. May you realize the great gifts and possibilities that God has laid before, and come to see your place upon this great path of service and love, so that all these things may be reflected through your individual and beautiful souls and minds and spirits, which God has provided for you to express in life, whether that be in this material life or the spirit life. So much awaits you, beloved souls. You are upon this journey, well upon it, and will come to know your true selves. In the joy of knowing will be the expression of great light and love. God bless you, beloved souls. I am brother and friend, your teacher and master of the celestial kingdom. I am Jesus, and I thank you for again listening to my words. May you take them to heart and know the truth that has been spoken. God bless you. God bless you, beloveds. I am with you always. God bless you.